Hey guys, it's Sarah from Sleepopolis, and today we're taking a look at two Luxe pillows, both the Luxe Down pillow and the Luxe Down Alternative pillow. So stay tuned because I'm going to show you what they're made of, how they compare, and let you know which sleepers are going to be most compatible with which pillow. All right, so I've been rolling around on both the Down and the Down Alternative pillows, but before I get into my first impressions, I just want to say if throughout the course of this video any questions come up or you want a personal recommendation from me, please feel free to give me a shout in the comment section below and I'd be happy to help. Now, again, before I get into my first impressions of these pillows, I have to give a shout out to the little information packet that Luxe sends you with the pillows. So first of all, it hits you with this their Instagram information, but also lets you know that 1% of their sales go to Portland Public Schools, which we love. Gives you some sleep quotes, but my favorite, they hit you right away with the specific wash care instructions for each pillow. So I love that. All right, now another thing that I'm noticing right away is, so I've tested a lot of Down Alternative pillows, and a lot of the time when I press into them, I can tell right away, oh, this is definitely not Down. And I'm impressed to say that that's not the case with these pillows. It actually took me a second to figure out which one was Down and which one was Down Alternative. So I'm gonna say right now, folks who love the feathery, fluffy feel of Down but don't want to sleep on any animal products, you're probably going to be very compatible with this Down Alternative pillow. But meanwhile, there is a little extra loft, a little extra fluffability that I'm feeling from the Down pillow. So let's go ahead and look at exactly what each of these pillows are made of. So both of these pillows are covered in 100% stretched cotton, which feels very soft to the touch, but also very breathable. And I can tell it's breathable because when I'm pushing in to each pillow, I can feel the air flowing through the fabric. So I'm getting a good sense it's gonna help keep me cool. The difference, of course, is the fill. So you've got one that's filled with polygel fiber, which is a fluffy, feathery down alternative, and one that's filled with real goose down and waterfowl feathers. And like I said, I have to be honest, as far as feel goes, they are pretty similar. However, there are a few subtle differences. So first of all, the loft. The Real Down pillow does have a loftier build and it's also more fluffable. Real Down is very easily compressible. So if you want to compress it into a lower loft, say because you're in the stomach sleeping position, for example, you totally can. Now, when it comes to the Down Alternative pillow, on the other hand, again, you're still getting that really fluffy, feathery feel. And also it's worth noting that both of these pillows offer like a soft medium level of firmness. But with the Down Alternative, you are getting a lower loft. So ultimately this one is going to be better for stomach sleeping, which we'll get to in a moment. But another thing worth noting is that in my experience testing these pillows and testing Down Alternative pillows in general, is that Real Down is a little bit better about maintaining its shape over the course of the night. So let's take a closer examination of which positions each pillow is going to be best for and which sleepers are going to be more compatible with which one. All right, before I get into which of these pillows is going to be most compatible with which styles of sleep, I just want to say if you're having a hard time deciding which is the right pillow for your go-to sleeping position, just Google Sleepopolis, how to pick the right pillow. It'll be the first thing that pops up, and I dive into all kinds of detail about how to choose the pillow that's going to best support you in your go-to sleeping position. Okay, that said, first let's talk about the Real Down pillow. So I've been rolling around in it, and I have to say, it's a great all-position pillow. First of all, it's got a nice lofty build, but it's also compressible. So side sleepers who do need a loftier profile can enjoy. It's also got a really fluffable feel, so if you like to kind of tuck an arm under or fold a corner, you can totally do that because it's very foldable and shapeable. But you've also got that nice lofty profile of almost 5 inches to support you and also keep neutral spine alignment, relieve pressure in your shoulder. Back sleeping, same thing. I found it to be very comfortable. The Down really just sort of comfortably cradles your head and neck, and most importantly, keeps everything in neutral alignment. But I'm also loving it for stomach sleeping because it's got a very compressible loft. And again, it's really easy to just sort of embrace the underside of your pillow. You know, sometimes stomach sleepers don't like to sleep with their arms directly at their sides. So if you do like to sort of scoop your arms underneath the pillow, you can totally do this. It's not going to prop you up too much because the Down is very easily compressed. Now, when it comes to the Down Alternative, I'm really only finding it to be suitable for back and stomach sleepers. The truth is, side sleepers do need a loftier profile, and because this one already has a lower loft, but also because its down alternative doesn't really maintain its shape as well as the real down, it's just not lofty enough for side sleeping. So when I was on my stomach, I really found it to be the most compatible with that position because it's got a nice low profile, it doesn't crane your head or your neck upward at all, but also it's great for back sleeping too because like I said, it really does feel a lot like down, so you're still getting that really comfortable cradle of your head and neck and it feels fluffy like feathers. All right, so there's a lot that I'm liking about both of these pillows, but just a few things that really stood out to me. So number one, I have to say I've been testing a lot of pillows and I really had a hard time telling the difference between the down and the down alternative. I have to say of all the down alternative pillows I've ever tested, of which there have been many, this one has got to feel the most identical to down, so props to Luxe Pillow. And another thing I was really liking is as a hot sleeper, I was kind of worried that the down, which often does serve as a great insulator, was going to trap my heat and kind of warm me up. And I didn't find that to be the case. The cotton cover fabric was really breathable, allowed for great airflow within the pillow. And amidst all my rolling around, I didn't find either of them to trap my heat too much or warm me up. Another thing I'm liking is that both pillows lend themselves well to more than just one sleeping position. So you've got the real down pillow, which is a great all position pillow. So if you are a combination sleeper, or you're still kind of deciding which sleeping position is the best for your body, going with an all position pillow like the real down one is going to be a good way to go for you. But with the down alternative, you're still getting a great option for both back and stomach sleepers. And a few things that I like about the brand itself is, first of all, like I said, it donates 1% of all sales to Portland Public Schools, which I like. But also it offers, with both of these pillows, a generous trial period of 100 nights. Now, if we're being honest, maybe we don't need a full 100 nights to decide if a pillow is the right fit for you, but it's really nice to have the time. And if within that 100-night trial period you decide that these pillows are not the right fit for you, just send it on back and you'll be fully refunded. All right, so a few things to consider before you make up your mind. So first of all, sleepers who are vegan or who are worried about sleeping on animal products, you might want to stick to the down alternative pillow. However, it is worth noting that the real down pillow does come with what's called a responsible down standard certification. Basically, that guarantees that the organizations that Luxe Pillow sources its down from guarantee that the ducks and geese are treated humanely and raised responsibly. And if you want to know more about this certification, Luxe Pillow does detail a lot of information on its website. Now, another thing worth noting is that while the real down pillow is a great all-position pillow, the down alternative simply isn't lofty enough for side sleeping. So if you are a side sleeper and you're interested in the down alternative, I would definitely take advantage of the trial period. Now, while I love that Luxe Pillow does offer a very generous trial period, something to always consider is price, and real down is always going to be more expensive than down alternative. So the real down pillow ranges in price from $130 to $150, and the down alternative ranges from $79 to $99. And the truth is, neither of those are necessarily going to be in everyone's price range. Well, that's it for me, but for every last detail on both of these pillows, or you want to know more about how down compares with down alternative, be sure to check out my full written review, which is linked below. Now, I do hope you found this video to be helpful, and if you did, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media. We're always uploading more content with one main thing in mind, to get you some better sleep. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.